Apparently, if you're trying to see Bruce Springsteen in 2023, it's going to cost you. Ticketmaster has instituted a sliding price scale for platinum seats, which caused some Bruce tickets to go upwards to $5,000 or more. That's crazy.
Yeah.
The system, quote, enables market-based pricing, adjusting prices. So pretty much, if you've ever ridden Uber or Lyft, it's like surge pricing, but for concert tickets.
Yeah.
Ticketmaster thought this was a good idea to try to eliminate the resale market. First things first, Benny. Is this a good idea for Ticketmaster to try to eliminate this resale market by essentially enacting these surge prices?
Well, I mean, something needs to be done about the resale market, but I'm not sure if Ticketmaster is the person to do it, because last time I looked, it's a fucking nightmare ordering tickets on Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still a normal person every once in a while. I bought seats for my dad, you know, like went through Ticketmaster, got him a couple things for something. As usual, by the end of it, I'm like, what the fuck am I paying for?
Yeah.
I just paid twice the amount for my ticket, and God knows what it just went to. It's just these, you know, this series of fees and steps and percentages that they just add along the way. And before you know it, it's what people think is just normal. And then they can keep adding on to that. And before you know it, it's just absurd. And I think it's at that absurd point. So, you know, if Ticketmaster really wanted to help, it's not their job to eliminate the resale market. It's their job to fix their own site and make tickets more cheap and accessible to people, and cutting out some of the middlemen, which they know they can do. Like, seriously. And Ticketmaster's about to sell a ton of my fucking tickets for too much money. And I hate it. I don't know what else to do at this point. You know, I'm a drummer in a band and I need to make some money myself. And, you know, like, you get stuck inside these systems that you know are incorrect. Pearl Jam tried to take it on. Like, I can't do it. So I know it's bad, but I don't really know what you're supposed to do about it at this point, especially, you know, like, maybe on this level, there is something to do about it, but it is a problem. Now, to deal with this Bruce thing, like, you know, I heard $5,000 a ticket, and the normal guy in me just shudders at first, you know, just the sheer number. Like, it seems astronomical. Then I consider that, like, every single time an NBA team takes the court, there's rows of people who pay $2, $3, $4, $5, $10,000 for courtside seats to see 90 minutes of somebody playing a sport. You know, if this was Pavarotti or some crazy theater ticket or something that cost $5,000, no one would bat an eye. You wouldn't even know about it. I think it's like the rock and roll tinge that makes, like, the money uglier for some reason. Like Bruce Springsteen is like, he's a connectable person. He's the everyman. And he kind of is. Like, I've actually met the guy and he comes off like that, you know, like it really seems like this is the type of dude who, like, you know, would do this. I watched him take out the trash at someone's house. So, like, this is kind of a real dude. But then at the same time, this is about value, you know, and this is like a career of hard work, like 40, 50 years of it. And you're going to, like, pay for, like, an amazing night with the twilight of one of, like, the all-time great performers. And if it's worth that much to people to pay that price, that means that's how much it's valued at. So there is, like, a simple thing to it, as with everything, is like, if you're that offended by the price, don't go to the Bruce Springsteen show and the price will go down. But you know what? People are going to pay it because they want that seat and they want to see it. And that means he's worth it. And, like, if there's anybody we're going to, like, you're about to pay a baseball player $500 million. It's going to happen in the next year or two. Like, so when you put it in that context, I don't give a shit if Bruce Springsteen gets paid that much money, and I want him to get paid that much money. Like, Jeff Bezos just made more than Bruce is worth in, like, a week. You know? Like that's real money. That's crazy money. This is, like, rock and roll performer money. And if there's anyone I want to see get it, it's him. So pay the fucking cool people, you know?
It's a little hard to swallow, though, because after we just talked for like a few weeks about how Bruce sold his entire catalog for $500 million. So it's like, listen, I get the $5,000 ticket range, and the price if you go to see him in Tulsa, Oklahoma is going to be a lot more than if you go to see him at Madison Square Garden or wherever. I understand that. But, you know, there was a band a few years ago that put a cap on the dynamic prices. You can put like the market can fluctuate depending on the demand, but it can only hit this amount of price. I think if you put a cap on it, nobody's upset here.
That seems realistic. That seems reasonable. I mean, has there been any explanation from the Bruce camp about this?
It's funny you mention that because John Landau clapped back in the New York Times. He said that a modest number of their tickets, so like not too many, sold for more than $1,000. But he said the true average price for the seats that went on sale was in the mid 200 range, which he'll play between 20 and 30 songs. See, when I go to a concert, I always kind of, when I'm throwing down money, I'm like, okay, how many songs am I going to get out of this? So you get like per song, and if you kind of do it that way, if he plays between 20 and 30 songs, that's in like
$15, $8 a song,
$7 ish. Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah. By the way, do you want a quick Gaslight update? Because I did this black market research for you guys. You guys,
oh no,
$35 to get in the door.
Right.
That's good.
Okay.
And you guys play between 20 and 30 as well, so pretty good.
Okay. You know what would offend me?
What?
If I found out like Bruce's crew was sleeping at Motel 6. Like shit like that. Like, because when I hear this too, like you got to imagine one thing, and there's one thing like I can pull back the curtain on. Like when he shows up to a show, everybody there is getting paid by the Bruce Springsteen Foundation that day. You know what I mean? Like security, concessions, fucking merch. Like every truck that's back there was the gas, the driver, like everything was paid for by that. It's a gigantic production. You know what I mean? Like, so there is just at the baseline a type of cost that you incur that you do have to pay back, which is like really substantial. Yeah. You know, I mean, essentially, it's not like, you know, you've been to these stadiums and stuff. Like, they're not concert ready.
Right.
So when you're offered this stadium, you're essentially renting it for the day. And you show up and you either have to go, okay, what's the audio company, staging company you usually use? We'll pay this fee for that. Or this is all of our audio and staging that we own that we're bringing into this place. But like both of those things are like such massive undertakings on a level like I can barely even understand that there's a lot of shit to this, you know? So that's where it's like, you know, I think at the very least, there's a lot of people who like fix guitars and put up lights and drive trucks and do the types of things that you would, you know, view with more honor at times that are you know, getting paid. Wow, I sound like a conservative.
I
for
know,
Bruce
right?
Springsteen. I'm talking about trickle down economics right now. Oh my god, what is happening? Yikes! Oh man. I got to get back to the city, Denny. Fuck.
So I guess we can start the complete speculation based off of Benny's comments here that Bruce is going to show up with Gaslight at some point. This
is absolute. If you want to call me a total fucking sycophant right now, you can do that. I'm guilty. I'm totally guilty right now.
I would too. You know, you got to support the people that support you. Like, listen, otherwise, man, in this life, what are you doing?
You know what Derek Jeter said?
What he said?
Loyalty one way is stupidity, right?